Hey guys, this is Hyperstrike again. I'm just going to give you a quick video run through on how to ask for help in the forums. So, according to my guide, what you need to do when you decide that you are going to ask for help in the forums is you want to first head out to my guide. It's in my signature, so you'll be able to see it there. It says asking for help on the forums. Gives you the basics of everything you need to do to provide information for potential help givers in the forums themselves without having to necessarily go to support for NCSoft. Now, there are still cases where you may have to go to NCSoft to solve problems that are completely outside the purview of your would-be helpers, but usually those are a little bit further in between than some of the regular issues that you will run across. So, you head to the guide and literally just go step by step. First thing you want to do is go to the COH helper site. Download the program. And then go ahead and find it. COH helper. I've downloaded it before. Also, COH helper may give you some strange errors on 64-bit machines, so you will need to just keep an eye out for that. It may not always report everything completely correctly. So, what you do is you just go ahead and run COH helper. Run. Pull this into screen. And then just click forum output. You get this little booger here who just sits there and dances around and doesn't really do a whole heck of a lot. He's just there to hopefully keep you occupied while it's grabbing your data. And you get this. Just go ahead and basically open up Notepad, paste it in there, and then shrink it down for now. Click OK, close it, and just shrink down your download screen for a second. Then what you'll want to do is head back into the forums. You want to head into the technical issues and bugs forum. So what you do in here, just come in, say new thread. You'll call it help my computer broke or whatever, give the title a good description, of what's going on. Just a short one, but make sure that, like crashing on zone loads. and then come down into the body. Type out a more extensive description of the problem you're having. Try to be as descriptive as you can without, dropping in 600,000 or 700,000 words. Most people aren't going to read through something quite that long, of course. But, put in a couple paragraphs, just, talking about what the issues you're having, when you're noticing it, what it's doing, and whether or not it's actually triggering the error reporting in the game when it crashes you out, if it's crashing you out. If you're just getting visual issues, note what the visual issues are. If you can get screenshots of it, that works too. That's great. So what you do is type in, "This is my basic description of the problem." So you do that, then you can go ahead and you've basically just pasted in your hijack this log at this point. You can right click and say paste, or you can just hit Control V. Say submit new thread. You've got that. Then right away just come on down and click reply immediately, and just put a placeholder in for the next portion. This is a placeholder for my hijack this log. The first one was the COH helper, the second portion is the hijack this log. So you then go back up to my guide, go to the hijack this site. Get rid of the ad, of course. And what you want to do is you want to grab, you can either grab the beta version or just the current stable version. Instead of the installer, just download the executable. You have no need to be installing hijack this permanently on your machine. There's no real point to it. So click on the executable, save it. Takes a second to download because it's a whopping 380 KB. You then go back to your download section, scroll on down, and hijack this. Find it and right click. Now, on Windows Vista and Windows 7 machines, even if you have user account control turned all the way off, it is recommended that you right click and say run as administrator. That will give the application full permission to scan the machine properly. Otherwise, you'll get a nasty little error. Basically, you can read it all if you really want to. Basically, they're just saying that their software is not guaranteed for anything. It could blow you up. It's not going to. It's just meant to scan your system to let people know what's going, so you can see in a human readable format what's going on. You click I accept. You say do a system scan and save a log file. So it runs through all of its nifty stuff and pops up a log file. It's doing it for me on a different screen because I'm multi-screen, and this is what it looks like. So you can sit there and select all, copy, and then come back over, head back to your thread for where the hijack this log is, go in and just click edit, wipe out the temporary holder, then go advanced. Wipe out the temporary holder, and then really recommend that you put the code tags around this because it helps keep it a little neater and a little bit more organized and readable. So just paste it in. Come down, save changes, and you now have a nice readable without having a 75-page long log file. And if anybody needs to, they can just copy it out and look at it if it goes beyond the end of the scroll. For me, I tend to run at a much higher resolution than this. It's just this size for YouTube, unfortunately. And after that, essentially what you'll want to do, I mean, you can still sit there and do your own research on why I'm crashing, this, that, and the other thing. Just, give the people a little bit of time to look at your logs, to see what they see in there, and to offer up suggestions for you. I mean, it will not be instantaneous because this is not a chat room or, a live help desk. This is a forum where people are just checking in periodically. So it may take a couple hours, it may take a day or two for people to respond. Just give them a little time. And if you notice anything else, what you do is just come back to the forums, add an additional post in there, and let them know. Another thing that can help if you're having what could possibly be network issues, like lag or rubber banding, where you run someplace else and boom, you snap back to your starting point. You try to run again and you snap back again. Is something called path ping. So, what you do is click on Start, click on Run, type in CMD. This will bring up a command line window. And then you can just, right from the forums, copy this out, paste it in, and go, and then just give it a couple minutes because it takes a while, because what it's doing is it's enumerating every hop between you and the server, and then it's going to sit there and ping it and do a couple of other metrics to it. But what eventually happens is it will come straight back to the command prompt again. And then from there, what this is actually doing is this is saying run path ping to cityofheroes.com, then pipe it to a text file. So now, I didn't need to actually give it administrator permissions on my machine because I run without user account control on. I've got a fairly beastly antivirus running both on my machine and scanning my network. and I have a lot of other equipment monitoring my network on top of that. So I turn user account control off for convenience sake. It's not recommended, but I do it, and I personally do not have any problems. But I am a professional, so your mileage may vary. So what will happen is eventually, once this stops, give it a little time. So you see path ping down here, and it's slowly building. The file itself is never going to be humongous or anything like that. It's not. No, instead of having you sit here and watch a screen that's doing nothing, I'm going to pause, and we'll pick back up once this has completed. Okay, and we are back. So, as I said, once the path ping completes, it can take, somewhere roughly in the 5 to 6 minute range. You basically just go in, find your path ping text, open it up, and again it opens off screen for me. So it'll tell you roughly how long it took, all of the intermediate nodes, and where it had to stop. Now you will see your own node, which is your machine first, then any access points. From there, it will head out to your local network, out to the internet at large. For me, it stays on AT&T pretty much the entire freaking time. Now, for the most part, you'll see, how many packets were translated to loss sent, 100% packet lost. Well, now, if you are seeing 100% packet loss to anything outside of your local network, do not panic. 100% packet loss does not necessarily mean that you can't contact something. Various nodes on the internet, to keep their traffic manageable, simply discard pings. They don't respond to them because otherwise the machines would load up. And years and years and years ago, they used to have problems with machines being flooded off the net by excessive and very large packeted pings. So it's when if you see 100% packets going through, great, fine, wonderful. You see 100% of packets not going through, not necessarily a bad thing, unless you quite simply can't get out to the internet or can't connect to the game. If you're seeing somewhere around, if you're seeing any sort of packet loss between those two, then yes, you may have problems, on something. And if you're seeing packet loss on your own network somewhere, that could be bad. So what you do, again, just select all, copy, head back to the forum, go to your own thread on it, post new, space for a path ping, and then just post your path ping in there. Again, you can wrap it in a code block so that it's more readable and stays more readable. And yeah, you can do that by simply highlighting all the text afterwards and then clicking the code block. Go ahead and submit it, and then hopefully someone on the forums will be able to help you. Now, this may not be immediate, and give them time. And if you truly and honestly don't understand what someone is telling you, ask. Normally, there's a certain amount of competency assumed, and if you're one of those people who isn't a gearhead or a computer geek or a code wrangler, sometimes some of the stuff can go just a little bit over your head. So never be afraid to ask for clarification if somebody tells you something and you just don't understand. Nobody's gonna make any judgments on you because there's people out there who know a lot more than I do and glass my eyes over every once in a while. And then in some subjects, I know more than they do, and I can do the same thing back to them. It's fun. So, anyways, hopefully this video was helpful for you. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to contact me via PM on the forums, or you can always email me. It's hyperstrike@cox-supergroups.com. Thanks for watching, and play City Heroes. Great game. Love it, love it, love it. Later.